Hey everybody. We're going to start in a few minutes. This is going to be a short one today, very brief to the point, because I was told this is kind of a very needed conversation, so we're not going to be BSing like we usually do. We're going to get straight to the point when it comes to independent versus major, what resources you should be looking for when you are an independent or a major artist, the difference between independent and major, and which should you pick in between those being a Black artist. So we will be on here shortly. Give us about it's only 8:53. We'll jump on probably exactly at 9. So see you guys soon. Hey everyone, so we got a few more minutes to go. Trying to get my guest on right now. He is a very known rapper in North Carolina. He's also independent. So just stay with me. We're still trying to work out some kinks, and we will start shortly, I swear.
What's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, this is much better.
Oh, he looks frozen.
I'm frozen.
Oh, is this me? It's probably me. Hello?
Can you see me?
Yeah, I hear you too. Okay, perfect.
What's going on?
Nothing. We are on the air. We are on time for the first time. So,
Yeah, it's like
yeah, no, I'm never on time. And I told everybody already this is going to be one of our shorter segments because I was told by a few artists, up and coming artists, that this is something that they're looking forward to hearing because they don't know what to do when it comes to like what's honestly what the difference between independent and major, what they should look for if they want to do independent or major, and what resources they should look into. So we're gonna get to the nitty gritty, no BSing. So hey everybody, my name is Yazzie Doe. Thank you for joining us, and I have my guest here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Snipe Luciano. What up? What up? Hip hop out of North Carolina. I just dropped my second album. It's called The Matrix. It's available on all streaming platforms. You can get it on Tidal, Spotify. But I do a little bit of everything. And a little directing, do videos and things like that. Everything. I'm an entertainer.
Nice. All right. So I'm trying to put this up on my Instagram too, just to see how we looking. Okay, we're looking okay. Okay, so
So is this live?
it's live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
It's live on. Okay, cool. All right. Let me see if I can share it on my Facebook.
Yeah, let me know if you want me to send you the link. I could probably send you the link. Like, send me your phone number and I'll send you the link.
You can still see me, right?
Hmm?
All right, got you. I was about to, I said, I got you.
Oh, no. Hell. So I said, send it to me. Don't get caught up on it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, do not get caught up. Let's see. Facebook. And this is Facebook. I just had it up. Where did it go? I hope it's on the right. I have a tendency on. Okay, good. I put it on the right one. I have a tendency of putting the wrong video on my wrong business page. It's very weird.
Mm. You got so many businesses going on.
I do. I need to honestly slow down. It's not good.
I'm glad you still see the fro. The fro is still on the shirt.
Huh, yeah. Yeah, I still got this business, everybody. I don't know if anybody knows about this business that I have, but I have a business called Afrodol Products. It's supposed to be coming back out. I'm supposed to be revamping it. So I've been trying to like lay low a little bit and just focus on the podcast and get this going first.
How long you been doing the podcast?
Over a year now. It's about to be 2 years in September.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I'm getting ready to. I'm thinking about going over to that field too. I got your link.
Yeah, I saw
going
that.
over to the podcast world. Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of experimenting in on stereo. It's an app. It's pretty much a podcast app. You have an audience, and you know what I'm saying, and you set up shows and things like that. So I've pretty much been doing a lot of practice in that field. But I do that, and then I do like Instagram live interviews. So that's kind of like podcast-ish, but I haven't like officially targeted like that podcast audience yet.
We're gonna get back to that because that's one of the points I want to ask you. So, all right. So the topic today for Tough Topic Thursdays is independent versus major. So, can you tell us what is the difference between being independent and being major artist?
So if you're major is when you sign a record deal. So you getting like you pretty much getting a loan, a big loan from the record label, and the label takes care of everything though. You know, you're signing over. It all depends. There's different deals, but for the most part, you're probably signing over, all of your publishing and things like that. Like certain things, they take pretty much ownership of you as far as an artist. So they pay you, but they own the rights to everything. So they make money forever off of your music. You don't own your music. You can't. Nobody could come to you. Like if they want to use your music in a movie, they're not gonna come to you. They're gonna go to the record label for and they handle that. And they collect those checks. With majors, usually I know back in the day, usually when you was on a major label, you pretty much had to do what, pretty much you had to do what they wanted you to do, what direction they wanted you to go in or whatever. So it's not as much creative control. The good thing with the majors is they got big budgets. You know what I'm saying? They spend big budgets. They have all these resources. So, your career will go quicker. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the majors, your career will probably grow quicker as far as in the mainstream world. If you're trying to be in the mainstream world, independent is just you having full control. Things a little bit slower, but you own everything. You own rights to everything. You can pass it on to your kids. Right. Now it is. I can't say it's a right and a wrong. Which one is better because that's based on the individual situation. Because you never know what this person's situation is in life. He may need that, so he may be more willing to give that up to get his family out of out of their situation or whatever like that. So you just never know. It all depends on what your situation is. Me personally,
my next question.
You say that again?
That leads to my next question.
Okay.
So what should you look as a Black artist? What should you look for when it comes to like what type of which pathway you want to go into? So should you be I don't know. I feel like people who are major are a little bit more animated than people who are independent. You know what I mean? Like, should you be animated? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you pick which one you want to go to?
Well, that's all on the artist. Whatever what type of artist you are. You know what I'm saying? What direction you want to go in. That's all based on like the individual. But you could do. I mean, you could do anything. Just because somebody is major doesn't mean you can't do what they can do. You have access, saying to you just have to make the connections, but you have access to the same things they can do.
Okay, so I have a question here. Somebody asked a question. So, somebody said that you mentioned that when you're with a major label, you don't own the rights to your music. So when somebody owns their masters, what does that mean?
That when somebody owns their own masters,
Mm-hmm.
that's the same. That's what I was talking about before. It's like you have the rights to all of your music. You collect all the money. You own your music. Like you could do whatever you want to do with it. Like think about like for instance, Temptations, right? You still hear their music in commercials. You still hear their movies. Their family don't own the rights to those songs. Their family's not making money off of their music, while the people who's getting this music put in commercials, they're getting paid for it. Their people are paying them to put their music in commercials and put them in movies and play it on the radio, whatever, wherever it's making money at, it's being monetized through the company, not from the family, because the family doesn't own it. So as an independent, that's one thing I want to is I want to carry on and pass on to my family. I want my kids to eat off of my music. I don't want anybody else collecting that money.
So what you saying that you could be a part of a major record label, but still be able to own your own rights to your music.
I mean, it may be deals like that, but for the most part, usually when you're signed to a major, they usually own at least a certain portion of your catalog. So it may be the music that you release with them. They'll own that forever. You know what I'm saying? They'll cut you that check, but you get signed, and people, they got different deals. You could get a deal for 500,000, you get a deal for millions. You know what I'm saying? Either way, you taking that money, they're owning your music. They have your music. So, but no, I haven't heard of people owning their masters having a major deal, but it may be situations out there where people have a major deal and own their masters.
Really?
They may
I feel like I
have
know a few artists that are
it's
in the major label and
different business deals. You can have it known for that. Not
mm, I get say it again.
when did you say again?
No, I said I heard of some mainstream artists that ended up buying their masters, but I guess they're able to do that because they got the money to do it now.
Right,
So
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can buy your masters back. It's not like you can't. It's not like it's impossible to get your masters back. But
right,
depending on how big you are, it could. What like it was like Prince, for instance. He couldn't get his masters back. He couldn't get
really.
his like the masters that he had with his first when because you remember he changed his name from Prince like he changed his whole name.
Remember that.
That was because he wanted to own his masters. So from
That's
there
when he came
on,
out with that album. He came out. What year was that? That's
it
when
was
he came
simple.
out with that album, like back in like 2007 or something like that. 2006. He came out with an album. I
No, but
forgot.
this album was like when he came up with the symbol thing. It was like in the early '90s. So like Purple Rain and all that stuff. That's owned by. I believe that's owned by. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's owned by whatever company he recorded it with. So
Hmm.
he was like, this is his story. He was seeing that when he recorded that album, he was seeing how much money they was getting, being that he played all the instruments and all that stuff. Like
Right,
he pretty much did the whole album, but they owned this cat, they owned the songs, and they also was taking money for stuff that normally they would take out of your budget to pay people to do. You
right,
know what I'm saying? Like people to play instruments and things like that. That's what they do when you with a major record label. They take that money out of your budget and things like that, and say, because really you owe the money back. Whatever money they give you, you got to pay them back. They got to
right,
recoup their money back, and they got to make more. So
right.
that's the thing with the major record labels. But anyway, go back to Prince. he didn't own his catalog during Purple Rain, like this real popular songs, and he was realizing how the effect of it, and so that's when he switched his name to where it wasn't Prince, it was just a symbol,
Mm-hmm.
and he's from there, I believe he started owning his masters. You know what I'm saying? I believe he still has songs that he hasn't even released yet. You know what I'm saying? That was in the vault. Because he wanted to own everything that he put out.
Yep. Which
So that
makes
was
sense.
that was that was Prince's biggest thing. He got a lot of Prince is definitely one that, yeah, that was preaching independence, owning your masters and stuff like that. Like, even if you look back at old YouTube videos, you could find YouTube videos of him talking about, you know, owning your masters.
Like the number one artist I feel like in our age, like around our time, that's really doing it is Chance the Rapper. Why do you
Mm.
think he's so successful
Chance,
compared to others?
you know, I believe that there's I can't take away from his creativity. He's a talented artist. I never really listened to a lot of his music, but everything that I heard from him is pretty dope.
Right,
Um, but I believe there's certain levels. I believe now independent is getting bigger because of the growth of social media. People are able to access um a big audience without relying on a major label no more. So it's
right.
like we're kind of like in a transitioning phase where you're seeing independent artists be more in your face now, just because of, like I said, social media. Like, there was a point where we didn't have social media, so you only had a certain amount of certain outlets that you could get your music to the people, like through the radio or MTV or BET. So now it's changed. The dynamics of that have changed, and people have other resources to get music. So as an independent artist, you could put yourself, with the right budget, you could put yourself in all these different places in people's faces.
So that's why you think that Chance the Rapper is so successful.
Yeah, but yeah, I believe you could. I believe you could still be independent. I don't know his story. I don't know exactly what steps he took to be so successful. I'm just saying, as an independent artist, you could still be that. You could still be that big.
Right. Okay. Let's see. What type of artist do you have to be to become an independent artist, or to think to want to be an independent artist?
You said, what type of artist do you have to be?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be any. You could be any type of artist. You could. That's just a decision on what route you want to take as far as your artistry, like what you want to, which avenue you want to go. But you could be any type of artist and be independent.
I mean, I think they mean like mentally and emotionally, because I feel like when it comes to being independent, you have to be
Okay.
on a different type of grind. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, if they mean it like that, you have to be, um, I would say, like, if you're independent, like for me, you have to be passionate. I think you have to have some sort of like true belief in yourself, to be independent, and have that drive to run independent, because you hear a lot of stories about people that wasn't independent, like a lot of stories of people back in the day. They pretty much got groomed into being an artist, you know what I'm saying, or just, they was pretty much, it was just like they had skills, they had talent, they could make good music, but they didn't really have the
The
passion.
business
Like,
skills.
the business, yeah, exactly. They didn't have the business, and they, if it was if they realized it was that tough to be independent and grow, they probably wouldn't. They probably would have gave up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to have a certain drive and a real belief in yourself. When you're on an independent grind, because you could burn out. People get discouraged. There's a lot of bumps in the road, and what I'm saying, and if you let that first thing of discouragement just stop you from doing what you're doing, then it's just not for you. It's not going to work out.
One thing I know when it comes to being independent, because I know a lot of independent artists, um, you're like your everything basically. Like you're your marketing team, you're your promoter, you are your PR person, um,
Yeah,
your stylist sometimes, um, and you're your own your finance person. You know, unless
yeah,
you pay for those things. But when you first start as an artist, you don't really have that money that uh, to budget to give those to
and
outsource people.
this is what and like just because they got the name major and independent, you still have to do the same thing your audience to get your music out there. You still got to go through the same processes. But the thing is, when you're independent, you have to do it yourself. That's why majors take the money, because they do all of that for you. They do think you don't have to worry about certain things. When you're in the majors, you just have to focus on being the artist, which is a good thing. Like there's times that I would love to just focus on being the artist. You know what I'm saying? Not have to worry about other things. That takes the relief. That takes the relief for that gives you relief, and it gives you opportunity to be more creative and things like that. As when you're independent, you don't necessarily do it by yourself, but you got to have a strong team that's doing everything that the record labels would be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Like I was told by like other artists that when you're independent, your team, like you got to make sure your team is strong, and your team is basically your mental.
Yeah, hell
And,
yeah.
and then when you
Right.
in like major record label, you got to make sure your team is strong, and your team is basically like your best friend, your mother, the people that you've been with for the rest of your life that you choose to travel with you, like stuff like that. Because if you're
Mm-hmm.
both of those teams are not strong, like you just fall apart.
Right. Yeah, no, you gotta have a strong team. You gotta have a strong team. Definitely when you're independent. You know what I'm saying? And I advise people to just have a strong team in life in general. You know what I'm saying? Because you need to have a strong support system around you. You know what I'm saying? To just become successful in life in general, especially if you want to be a entrepreneur, or you know what I'm saying, or independent. I put that on the world. So you want to
Right.
you definitely have a strong support system.
That's a fact because you are your own business. Like you are the business. You are a brand, and
Right.
you're marketing it.
Yep. Yeah. I
Yeah.
look at myself like the record label. Yeah. I could look at my situation like the record label.
I was asked, who is your team?
Um, my team is I got a movement. It's called the Vigilantes or whatever. But I just I got a director. I got a videographer. I got a producer that makes all my beats. He made all my beats on my album. Um, so that right there, that's my immediate team as far as like, and because they help me get, you know, the visuals and the sound together. So that's one thing right there. And as I'm going along, there's other people that play different roles with as far as when it comes to like graphic designing and things like that. Like I have people that play different roles, along the process of me, putting out music and stuff like that, material.
Okay. Next question was resources. So, what resources should a person take advantage of when they are independent artists?
Definitely social media. Definitely take advantage that you have to look at your social media as if it's a television. It's a television show. When you got people's attention, what I'm
Right.
saying, take advantage of the fact that create you can get on live right now. And something like there was a point in time where people didn't have access to people across the world like that. Like I could make a song tonight, record it tonight, and everybody could hear it. You know what I'm saying? If I channel that audience to me or whatever. So you have access to that. You have access to people. Take advantage of building relationships with people online and connecting with people that's like-minded like you know what I'm saying? Also as an independent artist, make sure you network and getting out there, not just online, but you get out there and network with people that's you just want to put yourself in the arenas where people are doing the same thing as you.
Right.
And
Do you,
that right there builds your network right there. You build relationships.
I just lost the question. Uh, okay, so what resources should you take advantage of when you're a major or in a major label?
Man, I mean, if I would take advantage of every like anybody I meet, what I'm saying, in that world, like anywhere. I think it's the same thing, whether you're independent or you're major. It's just no matter what, you should always establish relationships with people because you just never know, like where what they can do for you down the line. You know what I'm saying? So I would just keep good relationships with people. Take advantage of that, especially if you major, you already in the doors. So I would definitely take advantage of the people that I meet when I'm in that world.
Do you want to be a part of a major label?
Nah, no, I don't really have no interest in being with a major label because I enjoy having the creative control. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy the whole process of it. So
Hmm.
yeah, I would rather be independent. And I'd rather own all my masters and music and everything.
Hmm. What challenges do you have being an independent artist?
Challenges, being it's a struggle being seen and heard. I mean, when you're independent, you gotta learn everything on your own. Everything is a learning process. So um, the biggest challenge is getting your stuff out there and being seen and heard, and getting your audience, and also finding your audience, finding developing a sound that that you have a cult following, like getting those people to really really rock with you. You know what I'm saying? That's a challenge too.
Right. Hmm. How do you find your audience?
It's different ways. It is, and that all goes. There's no specific way, but there's certain ways. Like I said, like the internet. That's one way, and doing shows. You gotta engage with people to find that. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you have to do with experience of dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best way to find your audience.
Somebody said, so you got to be a extrovert.
Ah, you know what? Actually, you I'm an introvert, and it's funny that she said that because I think me being an introvert and carrying introvert those characteristics into that world and trying to grow, it wasn't helping me. So I had to strategically figure out how to be an extrovert or just have extrovert conversations. I have to carry on those characteristics. So yeah, you do got to do extrovert shit if you're gonna be representing yourself. Now, you don't necessarily have to be the extrovert. You can have someone that's around you that's representing you, but just make sure they down for you. You can still be yourself and let them handle that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, to network and grow, yeah, I believe there has to be some extrovert in you,
Mm, that
or
was a
just
funny question.
be able to tap into that.
That's a funny question because I mean, I used to
No,
have
that
that
was a good,
struggle.
that was a good question. That was a good question.
Yeah, I had that struggle too, just being an entrepreneur in general. But like, I feel like as long as you are passionate about what you're doing, that extrovert will definitely come out of you regardless.
Hmm.
Because as soon as a
Absolutely,
person comes up to me
absolutely,
like, yo,
absolutely.
what do you do? Can I hear your music? Like, what is it about?
Hmm.
You have no issue. Like, okay, let me tell you. Like, you
Absolutely.
know,
That's a fact. That's a fact.
um,
Yeah, that's a fact.
that's interesting. I didn't know you was an introvert.
Yeah, I'm introvert. I'll be cool. I am very very to myself. I'm not. I guess I'm not now because I broke out of it. But I don't know. Yes, naturally I am.
Really?
Yeah, this artist
Hmm.
world broke me out of that. I know how to. I much rather be by myself though, and going away from people.
How long have you been an artist? Sorry, I got to check on something. But how long you been an artist?
Since I was 9, I started my musical journey.
So you're
I believe I was born an artist. I just didn't have nothing to really focus on. I didn't have no like direction. But when I was 9, I decided I wanted to be a rap artist, and I've been pursuing that since.
so basically your whole life.
My whole life, yeah, basically, yep.
I remember this was like a couple of years ago. You posted a video of you like literally rapping. I think you was like 8.
Mhm. Yeah, I was young as hell. Yeah, yeah. I got everything. Yeah, we was
Yeah,
recording. We was recording. We was performing at clubs. We was doing all type of stuff back then.
it was funny.
Yeah, I
So
started very early.
do you okay? Like you said, it's kind of easier now because we have social media and different platforms to share our art with other people across the globe. So do you feel that it's harder because everybody has access to everybody now?
Um, I don't feel like it's necessarily harder. It's easy. It's easier to do it, but it's harder to it's a lot of it's a lot out there. So you have to do something unique to stand out. You have to make yourself stand out, and that's why it's important to build relationships with people so that way they can know you. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? That way they can know you personally. Personally, you want people to feel like they know you on a personal level. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's important to engage. You know what I'm saying? And get people to know your art. Focus on your art. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a lot out there. It's music being put out every single day. People's the attention span is shorter now just because it's so much music coming out. So you gotta be consistent. And that takes passion. To be consistent and constantly put stuff out. You gotta keep putting stuff out, and the people that you got, make sure you keep them entertained. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, do you have any other advice to give or want to mention?
Um, just man, don't get discouraged. You know what I'm saying? Keep working every day. Just the day you plant the seed is not the same day you're gonna eat the fruit. So just
Mm,
because you didn't see something grow right when you did it or get that instant gratification doesn't mean that seed isn't planted and growing, and you know what I'm
right.
saying. But the main thing is to keep doing something every day to contribute to your to your goals, where you want to go.
So discipline. You need a whole lot of discipline.
Definitely gotta have discipline. You definitely gotta have a whole lot of discipline for sure. I wouldn't even tell you otherwise.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good advice. And thank you. You see
Thank
my
you.
oh, she got a I was about to show you my dog. She was like knocked out on the floor.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, but she's up now. I don't know. I'm about to walk her.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a big one. That's a pit bull.
Why is she so big? I don't think she's big. Look,
Look big right here.
she's touched. Something
Look
wrong
too
with
big.
her.
Too
Look,
big for you, girl.
she's mentally off.
Oh
But
yeah.
but yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna ask to do like a part two. Would you be willing to do a part two?
Yeah, absolutely. You my dog. I got you. That's
Oh,
a part of that's a part when you're independent, man. You got to make sure you got to keep these relationships strong, man, with people. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like that's another thing. It's like take advantage of stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Network with your friends that got podcasts and things like that because everybody has a different audience. That's another, maybe
that's
one person from this thing that latches on to me, but they really rock with me. You know what I'm saying? That's all
right.
that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? I accumulate all of that over time doing different interviews and putting myself in different places. constantly put yourself in different utilize all social media platforms, because all social
Right.
media platforms have different audiences. People have different audiences. So there's people that rock with you that don't have no idea. You know what I'm saying? So you
That's
got
a
to
fact.
take advantage of that.
That's a fact. Oh, do I have another question? Hold on. No. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. No more questions. Okay. Well, I'm gonna be hitting you up.
Yeah, hit me
I'm
up
also gonna
anytime.
post this. Because since this is kind of short, I could post this on Instagram.
Okay.
So I'm gonna repost this on Instagram probably later on as like a flashback.
Yeah, do that. Tag me in your story too, so that way I could repost it.
Yeah, and I probably will send you a copy like through email or something.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Well, have
Sounds
a
good.
good night. Hope
Yeah,
everybody else
thank
has
you.
a good night.
Yes, make sure y'all go to my website, snipeluciano.com. Follow me at Snipe Luciano. My social media, all my social media is the same. That's another important thing as an artist. Try to keep the same name on everything. That way you're easy to find.
All right.
It's all accessible. Very easy to find. But Snipe Luciano. Appreciate
To
you. Yeah,
hyperluciano.com.
yeah. SNYPLUCIANO. SnipeLuciano.com. That's me.
Okay, I'm about to post it up. Cool.
There we go.
All right, no problem. All right, have a good night. I hope everybody is safe out there. I hope everybody gets their stimulus check, their third one, and the end of March.
Oh, is the third one coming?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Say word.
Facts. We should have talked about that a little bit, but hey. But everybody be safe. Snipe, have a good night. It's nice
Thank you.
seeing you.
Good seeing you
Virtually.
too.
Um,
We'll talk again.
Facts.